the last time I'm ever going to a movies with that Ed Norton.
What's the matter?
What's the matter? Every time there was a love scene, he put his arm around Trixie and started to hug her.
And what's wrong with that? I happen to think that's very romantic.
Romantic, huh? I was sitting between them. When I go to a movie, I want to see a love scene, not be in it. Hey, were these lights on all the time we were out?
Sure, I left them on.
What's the matter? Are the mice afraid of the dark?
I happen to have read once in a magazine where when nobody's home, you leave a light burning. That way, if a burglar comes, he thinks somebody's home and he goes away.
Well, please leave the lights out and let a burglar come in if he wants. What could a burglar get in here anyway? And if he dropped something, we'd be ahead. I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Don't you want to have a cup of tea with me?
No, I'm too tired.
Why don't you sit with me, Ralph, and have a cup of tea?
If I had the strength to sit up, I'd have some tea.
Oh, all right. Sure you won't have a cup of tea, Ralph?
I said no!
You don't have to shout, Ralph. I wish once in a while you would try to behave a little bit like a gentleman. You could certainly take a lesson or two, you know, from that Ronald Coleman who was in that picture tonight. Oh, he was so suave and so smooth and so sophisticated. Why can't you be a little bit more like him?
What has Ronald Coleman got that I ain't got? What are you laughing at? I happen to know that Ronald Coleman in his underwear looks exactly like I do.
How would you know?
Never mind how I know. I knew a guy that knew him in the army. Where's my bathrobe?
Your bathrobe is hanging on the door where you left it this morning.
Boy, you certainly hand me a laugh.
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe I'd be a little more like Ronald Coleman if you were a little more like Lana Turner. You know, Lana didn't look too bad in that picture either.
Well, how could she possibly look bad? She gets her hair done by Max Factor, her eyelashes by Max Factor, even the coloring is by Max Factor.
Yeah? Did you get a load of that figure in a bathing suit? She didn't get that from Max.
You always did go for the flashy blonde type. Now, me, I thought the other girl in the picture was much sweeter.
You mean the one that fell down the elevator shaft and lost her memory?
Yeah. That's the one. What was her name again?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Gee, you know, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Her name was, oh, you know her name, Ralph. She's the one that wrote the article in the movie magazine last month, the one that was called, How to Hold a Husband.
Well, if you don't know her name, why don't you call up her husband?
I can't. They were divorced last week. Mention some movie actresses' names.
Louise Bazenda, Marjorie Main, Shirley Temple, and Good Night.
Hey, forget about it, because it's not that important.
Now I can't sleep. Now I can't sleep, and it's your fault.
What do you mean it's my fault?
You know I can't sleep if I got anything on my mind, and I can't think of that dame's name.
I don't know her name. I'll find out what it is tomorrow.
Oh, no, you won't find out what it is tomorrow. You know I can't sleep if I'm thinking of something. I saw her in 1,000 pictures. It's very simple what her name is. She's got a very odd first name. Mention some odd first names.
Well, there's Jennifer and Myrna, Toby, Millicent.
Hey, wait a minute. That's it. Millicent. Millicent Brady. That sounds familiar.
It should. She lives next door.
I know what's the matter. We're going at this too hard. You know, when you try to rack your brain to think about something, it never comes to you. You gotta relax and be calm. Get on another subject entirely.
All right.
Let's just be relaxed. Any mail for me today?
Nothing.
What's her name? Hey, wait a minute. I know. Where's that paper I brought in tonight? They advertised the picture in the paper. I got it.
Oh.
It's the same paper.
Well.
Where's the theater section?
I think I wrapped the garbage in it, Ralph.
Oh, you're beautiful. Look out. Here it is. There's the ad. Lowe's Twilight. Burning Lips, starring Ronald Coleman and Lana Turner, and...
Well, what's the name?
I don't know. You got ketchup all over it. This is all your fault. You're not satisfied with putting ketchup on everything we eat. Now you gotta put ketchup on the garbage.
Now, you see? That's one of the neighbors at the door. All your hollering and screaming has awakened him. You happy big mouth.
Who's a happy big mouth? Who's a happy big mouth?
You heard me. You're a happy big mouth.
One of these days, Alice. One of these days. All right, now kiss me.
Tell me what's going on. I can't get any sleep upstairs.
What's the name of that dame that was in the picture? Name the cast.
Ronald Coleman,
Yeah.
Lana Turner.
Go ahead, keep going, keep going.
You keep going, I'm still thinking of Lana Turner.
You gotta think of a name. What was the name of that girl that was in the fight with Ronald Coleman at the beginning of the picture?
I remember the scene. He slapped her in the face and
Hey, wait a minute. The marquee is down the corner.
Well, look,
Stretch out the window. I'll get a chair. See if you can see the marquee from out there. Pull this down. Go ahead, pal. What's it say?
Burning Lips.
Burning lips?
Be careful, Ed. You'll fall
Shut
out.
up. It's a chance we gotta take.
Ronald Coleman, Lana Turner.
Yeah? What's the next name?
Then there's another name.
What's the next name?
Ronald Reagan.
But what's between Lana Turner and Ronald Reagan?
Mr. Murphy's long underwear hanging on the line.
Here, listen to me.
Wait a minute. What's that? Come in.
What's going on here? All the neighbors are complaining. You better cut out the noise.
Look, I'm sorry about the noise. I'll tell you how it happened.
Don't tell me how it happened. You better cut out the racket or you'll tell it to the judge.
Judge. That's it. That's it.
What's it?
Arlene Judge. That's the name of the thing. Hey, thanks a lot, pal. We won't make any noise. Thanks, you, Officer,
Nolan, Jimmy Nolan.
Officer Jimmy Nolan. Thanks, pal.
Good night.
Night, night,
Good
Ed.
night. Well, baby, that settles that.
Who is it?
It's me, Trixie.
Gee, what's the matter, Trixie? Somebody sick?
Oh, no, nothing like that. Look, Alice, I know it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I hate to bother you, but...
Yeah, well, what is it?
Well, you know, they painted our apartment today, and
Yes.
the smell of the paint is awful. We just can't sleep. So Ed and I were wondering if...
You can stop wondering, Trixie. Tell Ed to come on down. You can spend the rest of the night with us.
Oh, jealous, that's swell. Ed!
Yeah.
Hi, Alice.
Alice, you're a sweet kid. Come on, Trixie, we're going to go upstairs and get the phone and cop.
Okay. Ralph! Oh, Ralph! Wake up!
Boy, I'm dead. I hardly got any sleep last night. I don't know how I'm going to drive a bus today. Got my lunchbox packed?
It's not time to go to work yet, Ralph. It's only 3 o'clock.
Oh, well, I'll go back to bed.
3 o'clock! 3 o'clock? Why'd you get me up at this time for?
Because the Nortons had their apartment painted today.
The Nortons had their apartment painted. What happened? Did the news flash just come over the radio?
No. Trixie just came down and told me. She said they couldn't sleep because of the smell of the paint, and she asked if they could spend the rest of the night with us, and I said yes.
What are you running down here, a Bowery mission or something? Boy, that's a hot one. Norton works in the sewer all day, and he can't stand the smell of paint.
Well, he's just going up to get the cot, and you'll just have to put up with it. He's going to come down and put it right up here in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, I hope they'll be very comfortable. I'm going to bed.
Now, just a minute, Ralph. You can't expect Trixie to sleep on a cot. You and Norton will have to sleep here in the kitchen together.
Just a moment. When your mother comes over to visit us, I have to sleep in the kitchen. When your Aunt Ethel comes, I have to sleep in the kitchen. It's a good thing we haven't got a cat, because if he wanted to sleep in the kitchen, I'd have to sleep in a box of sand out in the hall.
Now, come on, Ralph. It's only for one night.
Only for one night, I have to drive a bus in the daytime.
One of these days. One of these days. Ow, right
Here they come. Oh.
What's that, Ralph? Hope I didn't disturb your sleep.
No, you didn't disturb my sleep. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. That's to make sure I got a seat in the subway going to work.
Come on, Trixie, let's go in the bedroom so the boys can get some sleep. Night, boys.
Hey, Alice, I'm warning you. Trixie puts a cold feet on your back.
All right, come on, let's get the cot up.
Wait a minute, let me do it. I've put this cot up and taken it down 100 times. Okay, what? It sticks once in a while with weather.
Would you mind kicking that leg nearest you, toward you?
Up.
All right. I hope you don't talk in your sleep, Norton. I'm very tired. Good night, Norton.
Night.
I thought you said you put this thing up 100 times.
I have, and every time I do, the same thing happens.
Will you please fix it? All right, wait a minute. Give me the pillow. We'll sleep up a hill.
We forgot the sheet first.
Good night, Norton.
Good night. Ralph, you got a cigarette?
Yes, I have a cigarette. O'clock in the morning, have you got a cigarette? Here. Here's your cigarette.
Thank you. Have a match, please.
Okay, pal. You're dirty. There's your match, Norton. Thank you. Oh, wait till tomorrow. Aren't you going to smoke that cigarette?
This isn't for now, it's for the first thing in the morning.
Good night, Norton.
Night. Hey, Ralph.
Yeah?
I think I changed my mind. I'm going to have a cigarette now. You want one?
I ain't there, man.
Hey, Ralph, I dropped the match in the bed. Ralph, I dropped...
No, man. Could happen to anyone, huh? All the time it happens to me whenever I'm with you. Now look, I gotta get some sleep. The both of you go upstairs. After all, the smell of paint ain't so bad, it never bothered me.
Well, wait a minute. I got the whole solution. You and Alice go upstairs, Trixie and I sleep down here.
Take your erector set and get out of here.
Just a minute, Ralph. They're my guests. I invited them here.
Don't you start. You're the one that started the whole thing. They come in here at 3 o'clock in the morning, you welcome them with open arms. I come in at 3 o'clock in the morning, you slam the door in my face.
Will you please, not in front of Ed and Trixie? Besides, you're waking up all the neighbors.
I hope I do. Maybe they gotta have their apartments painted. We'll all grab a brush and have a ball.
Alice, I think we'd better go back upstairs.
Nothing doing, Trixie. You're staying here.
They're going upstairs.
They're staying here.
They're going upstairs.
They're going upstairs over my dead body.
Don't tempt me.
Ralph, let's just go back to sleep and talk about this whole thing in the morning.
Ed, don't you know when you're being insulted?
Yes, I know when I'm being insulted, but I can't stand the smell of paint.
Alice, I hope you won't get mad at me because you're my best friend, and I know that none of this is your fault. But I gotta say this. Ed, are you gonna stand there and let this meathead talk to you like that?
You're right, Trixie. Ralph, I'm mad at you.
You're mad at me. You're mad at me. You come down here at 3 o'clock in the morning and you wake me up. If that isn't enough, you set up a cot and it falls down. Then you ask me for cigarettes, then matches. And if that is enough, you try to burn me alive. You are the most ignorant, the most idiotic, and the most stupid bum I've ever met in my life.
Ralph, you hurt me. Deep down in here, you hurt me. Trixie, we're leaving. Shit.
All right, Ralph. You satisfied now? You just lost your best friend. He'll probably never speak to you again, and you deserve it.
Well, that's just fine. My best friend. There's a laugh. What do you mean, my best friend? The only reason he was my friend is so he could use me, so he could impose upon me. I'm glad this happened. I'm glad it happened. Tomorrow morning, I can't wait for tomorrow morning to come, so I can give him back the $10 he lent me. I'll give him back his bowling shoes and his fishing pole. Then he'll be in no position to impose upon me again.
And what's Ed gonna return that he ever borrowed from you?
What is he gonna return? I'll tell you what he'll return.
Imposing on you, huh, Ralph? It's the only time that Ed Norton ever asked anything of you, and you turned him down.
Now, wait a minute. You're right, Alice. You know how I get when I lose my temper? I just don't know what I'm saying. I get steamed. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go right up to him now, and I'll apologize. He probably won't even speak to me, but I'll go up and apologize to him.
I forgive you, pal.
Shake, pal.
Okay.
Hey, go ahead and get Trixie. We'll spend the night down here.
Okay, Ralph.
Thanks, pal.
You're a sweet kid, too.
You know, I'm pretty stupid. Yelling at people, screaming, raising my voice. You know, if it wasn't for you, I'd probably have no friends. I don't even know why you stick to me.
Only 'cause I love you, Ralph?
Baby, you're the greatest.
Crandon and Norton are partners against Kennedy and Miller. Crandon and Norton partners? Oh, this I gotta see.
I have it! All right, take it. What do you mean, take it?
concede one more point now to beat us. From now on, when I say I got it, let me take it. Who died and made you captain? Never mind. Just when I say I got it, I got it. Sheesh, what a grouch.
Hello, Raccoon Lodge. Oh, yeah, Mr. Alfredo. Oh, you have? Oh, you finished writing the whole song, huh? That's fine, just as soon as you can get here. Goodbye.
I got it! I got it! I got it!
Hey, a hole in one. You do that again, you get on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Shut up.
I never saw anything that good my
All
whole
right,
life.
so you saw it. You saw it.
You sure you're okay, Cramden?
I'm fine. What do we owe you?
30 cents a man.
Give him 60 cents.
This is one time I'd like to hear you say, I got it, I got it, I got it, I
Will you
got it.
just give him the 60 cents?
It's getting late now. We're all here. We might as well call the meeting to order.
Everything's ready, Brother President. Oh, and Mr. Alfredo called. He finished writing the Raccoon Marching Song. He's on his way over here to play it for us.
Oh, good, good. Just draw up the chairs now, brothers. I hereby call this session of the Executive Board of the Raccoon Lodge to order. Gentlemen, the Raccoon Pledge of Allegiance. In filium semper pluribus honorum, partas impedimenta et videt. Now, let's get the meeting going. All right, sir.
Point of order.
Yes, Brother Norton.
Brother President, for the past 7 years, we've been making this Pledge of Allegiance, and I think it's time we do something about it.
Are you suggesting that we change it?
I'm suggesting we find out what it means.
Well, it means that, well, it's Latin.
Those sacred words were written by the greatest raccoon of them all, our founder, Herman Hildebrand. Wait a minute. Hildebrand was a druggist, wasn't he?
That's right. That's why he could write our pledge in Latin.
How do you like that? For all we know, for the past 7 years, we may have been pledging allegiance to a prescription for calamine lotion.
Brother Norton, you are a mental case.
Brother President, I'm making a motion that Brother Cramden be censured for insulting a member of this committee.
You want some motion? I'll give you a little motion.
Now, gentlemen, please. Let's get on with the meeting. What is the order of business, Brother Secretary?
First, a report from our treasurer, Brother Cramden.
First thing I want to talk about is the towel situation. I took inventory of the towels. There's 5 towels missing. And I think that the president should tell the members to return the towels as they belong to the Raccoon Lodge.
Well, can you identify those towels?
Yes, 2 of them have Luxor Bass written on it, and the other 3 have Hotel Dixie.
Make a note of that, Brother Secretary. Proceed, Brother Cramden.
All right. As treasurer, I'd like the committee to give me permission to spend $3 to have the clock fixed.
Oh, now, that won't be necessary, Brother Cramden, because, you see, as of last night, we can keep that money right in the treasury, because last night, our sergeant-at-arms here, Brother Norton, gave us one of his free nights off and fixed the clock himself. And I think that we should thank Brother Norton for his good deed with the traditional raccoon salute. All right.
Brother Raccoon, I thank you.
May I remind the Brother Raccoons that the clock isn't working yet?
Brother Cramden, the clock isn't working on purpose. I plan to start it in operation in front of this committee tonight. Anybody got the correct time?
It's exactly 3 minutes to 9.
3 minutes to 9.
Well, very good, Brother Norton, very good.
Thank you, brother.
You may proceed with your report, Brother Cramden.
Thank you. Now, I had a meeting with the entertainment committee to find out about how much money we're going to spend on the New Year's Eve celebration. And I figured instead of buying ready-made sandwiches, if we bought a ham and a turkey and a roast beef and sliced our own meat, we could get it much cheaper than if we bought the sandwiches ready-made.
That is a very good suggestion. Could you come in early, Brother Cramden, and slice the meat?
Well, I don't finish driving the bus till 7 o'clock. That'd be a little late to start slicing.
Oh, yes, well, how?
I'd like to, but I'll be busy decorating the hall.
I can do it. Instead of first going home to wash and dress, I'll come straight over from the sewer and make the bed.
I make a motion we buy ready-made sandwiches.
Second motion.
Now, I want to talk about something that we have to talk about. I noticed from looking at my records that the payments of dues of 90% of our members has been offset. I was saying the payment of dues is 90% of the members haven't been paid. Good.
That makes it 9.
Fix it. As I said, the payment of dues by 90% of the members has been off for the last... I'm making a motion that the kitty gives me permission to get $3 out of the treasury to fix the clock.
The permission is granted.
Thank you. As I said...
Sergeant at Arms, there's a knock on the door. Will you answer it, please?
Yes, Brother President. What? It's a Mr. Alfredo.
Oh, bring him in. Come in, Mr. Alfredo. Come right down here. I want you to meet the brothers. Brother Raccoons, this is Mr. Alfredo, the famous composer. He has just finished the new Raccoon marching song.
Oh.
Yes,
I made some copies of the song so you can all sing along with me.
Here they are.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Right over to
Go right over to the piano and play it over for us. Oh, this is a great night in the history of the Raccoons. Whenever you're ready.
In the west and in the east, there's a mighty little beast. For courage, there is no other. When the chips are all at stake, the raccoon will never break. We are proud to call him brother. So with our noble tails entwined, and the spirit strong combined, like hearts that cannot melt. In the forest, in the trees, from the land of seven seas, we're brothers under the pearl. Raccoons, the noble raccoon.
That's right.
Oh, that's wonderful. Very good, a wonderful way to finish our meeting. Now it's late and I must be getting home. The treasurer here will give you your check, Mr. Alfredo.
How much is that?
It'll be $100, Brother Camden.
$100?
Now, if I can give a lift to somebody up
I'll
top.
join you, brother.
I'm going to.
Right up.
Thank you very much. Well, how about you, Brother
Oh,
Norton?
I just stick around here and wait for Ralph.
Oh, okay.
Good night. Good night,
Good
brother.
night.
Good night. Say, he picked up that tune pretty fast.
Oh, yeah, he always fools around the piano when he hasn't got anything to do.
Yeah, shows musical talent.
Yeah. $100. It's an awful lot for writing a song.
Oh, on the contrary, it's very little. You see, I wrote this song as a favor. My father-in-law is raccoon in Bayonne.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's no money in writing this here stuff.
No?
The big money's in writing popular songs.
Oh, popular songs, huh?
That's right. And the
I suppose you get royalties in advance.
royalties in advance and...
Say, tell me something. How did you start writing songs?
Well, when I was a kid, I was always good at writing little jingles and poems.
Oh, yeah, poems? I write poems myself. Matter of fact, before I was married, I used to write all my Valentine cards.
There was a fellow around the block. He was pretty good at writing tunes. So he and I got together, and our first song was a big hit.
Okay. Well,
Say, I better be going. Nice to see you.
all right, pal.
Nice to meet you.
You're welcome. Bye. Norton?
What?
From this moment on, you and I are going to be partners.
One question. What are we partners in this time?
We are going to be songwriters.
Us?
Why, certainly. You have the musical talent. I can write poems. Why, there's a fortune in it. You heard what he said.
Well, look, supposing we don't write any song hits.
We're a cinch to write song hits. He said you had musical talent. You know that I'm a great poet. We'll be partners.
Ralph, we're partners.
All right, pal. And we'll split everything down the middle. Now, to start off with, we'll have to buy what we need to start with.
Uh-huh. Well, that's fair enough. What do I need? What do you
Well, I
need?
got to buy a pad and pencil. You got to buy a piano.
You got to get yourself a new partner because I'm not buying no piano.
Don't get upset. We'll chip in to buy it. We'll buy it on time. Come on, we'll go over, get a pizza, and talk the whole thing over.
Yeah. What are you doing now? Just a minute, will you? Just a minute. I just figured out what's wrong with this thing. It's just a little adjustment in the back. There.
Come on, will you?
Good as new, good as new. I just saved the club $3.
That's what I've been asking myself for the last 10 minutes.
How'd it get here?
Well, all I know is I came home from shopping. The superintendent told me he let a couple of truckmen in with a delivery. For the life of me, I can't figure out what's in it.
Alice, do you think this could be a Christmas present that the store sent out too soon? Maybe Ralph got you something for the apartment. Hey, this could be a refrigerator.
A refrigerator?
Sure.
Oh, no. Ralph's always saying the old one is good enough. What could make him change his mind now?
How about last week when the door fell off and his whole supply of frozen pizza went bad?
Yeah. Of course, I've been talking to Ralph about a new refrigerator for ages, but gee, Trixie, they're so expensive.
Well, I can't imagine what else it can be. Besides, Ralph could be paying it off on time, like we do.
Gee, this is the nicest thing that Ralph has ever done. Oh, Trixie, I feel terrible about the way I treated him last night.
Why? What happened last night?
Oh, well, he came charging home from the lodge meeting, you know, and he comes flying in the bedroom full of ideas and yelling about how he's going to make a fortune writing songs.
Yeah, Norton told me. The Bensonhurst, Gilbert, and Sullivan.
Yeah. I didn't even listen to him. I just rolled right over and went back to sleep.
I did the same thing with Norton. Don't worry, Alice. You didn't hurt Ralph's feelings. Believe me, by today, those two will have a new way of getting rich quick.
Well, I wish I had one. After this, I got to give Ralph something better than a muffler and a new lunchbox.
Yeah. What about your Christmas club money?
Oh, every cent's going for relatives. I got a list here a mile long.
You're lucky. Besides relatives, my Ed is sentimental about the fellows he works with in the sewer. I got to go out and buy every one of them a present.
Oh, Trixie, that's going to take a lot of shopping.
No, I'm going to get each of them the same thing. Something useful. A bottle of cologne.
Gee, I just wish everything wasn't so expensive.
Yeah. Come to think of it, I got to get my shopping done this week. Say, Alice, when does the bank let you pick up the Christmas club money?
Oh, anytime after the 1st of December.
Oh.
Ralph already picked up ours this morning.
I'll get ours tomorrow. Well, I got to go back upstairs. Oh, I sure am happy for you, Alice. I just hope I do as well.
Yeah.
I've been hinting for a new wristwatch, but Norton says he can fix my old one.
Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah. See you later.
Okay, Trix.
Most wonderful guy in the world, I'll
Boy, oh boy.
Ralph, sweetie.
I gotta tell you something what I got in the box.
Oh, Ralph, I got to be honest with you. I have a pretty good idea of what it is.
You do?
Uh-huh, I think it's wonderful.
You do?
Yes, I can hardly wait to see it.
Oh, well, I'll show it to you right now.
Now, listen, if you don't want to show it to me now, I understand. I can wait until...
Oh, no, it'll only take a minute. I'll get a hammer.
Oh, I tell you what you do, Ralph. You tell me when you got it open, because I want to be surprised.
All righty. You know, I sure had you figured wrong this time. I thought you'd yell and scream and say we couldn't afford it. All right, honey. Go ahead and take a look.
Okay.
You know,
I thought as soon as you looked at that, you'd say, Ralph, get rid of that piano.
Ralph, get rid of that piano.
What?
Get rid of that piano.
What are you, crazy or something? A minute ago, you said it was wonderful.
I must be crazy. I thought it was a refrigerator in there. We need a refrigerator. We don't need a piano.
We need a piano around here just as much as we need a refrigerator.
Okay. From now on, you can get your supper out of your piano.
Don't get cute, Alice. Don't get cute.
Listen, Ralph, we can't afford a piano. You're taking it back.
Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. I wear the pants around this house.
Believe me, those pants would fit around this house.
Ha, ha, hardy, har, har.
Well, hardy, har, you're taking it back.
I'm not taking it back. I can't take it back. I'll lose the down payment. We can't afford to lose $80.
$80?
Christmas Club money.
The Christmas Club money? After we scrimped and saved all year, Ralph, you're going to go out and waste it on this. Do you realize we have 15 relatives to get presents for? What are we going to do now?
Oh, so what? We'll get them all the presents they want, the whole 15 of them. You can have anything you want. I got this so I could be a songwriter. Can you tell me one thing that a person could do to make more money than being a songwriter?
Yeah. Selling pianos to idiots who think they can write songs.
Look, I'll remember that remark. I'll remember that remark. Tonight when Norton and I are writing a hit song that's going on a hit parade next week, I'll remember that remark.
Now, there is the dumbest thing that anybody has ever said.
That's the dumbest thing that anybody's ever said? That's the dumbest thing? How about the time I said, will you marry me?
How about the time I said yes?
You are not discouraging me. This time my ship is coming in.
Listen, Ralph, if I have to wait any longer for your ship to come in, I'm going to have to join the Longshoremen's Union. Now, get this straight. That piano is not staying here. You're taking it back.
Now I know the reason. Now I know the reason for Schubert's unfinished symphony. His wife made him take the piano back.
Listen, Ralph. The reason that piano is going back is because you and Norton are not songwriters.
Well, that's how much you know about it. A real professional songwriter said that Norton's got plenty of talent, plenty of musical ability. And you know just as well as I do that I always wrote great poetry.
Yeah? Come to think of it, you did. I can still remember what you wrote in my autograph book in public school. 8-8, open the gate. Here comes Alice, the graduate. I can hear that now on the hit parade, Ralph. I can hear that all right. Now I want to tell you something. If you won't, I'm going to go down to that store and get our money back. Now, where did you buy it?
Store's closed now.
Doesn't matter. They all stay open late before Christmas. Where did you buy it?
I'm not telling.
All right, you don't have to tell me. There's got to be a label on this thing somewhere. Give me that.
I will not.
Give me that label.
I will not give you the label. You take one more step toward me and I'll eat it.
I believe you, Ralph. You would eat anything. Are you going to give that to me?
There you are. It's gone.
All right, Ralph. I don't need that label. I'll find that store if I have to go to every single piano store in Brooklyn.
How do you know I bought it in Brooklyn? Might have bought it in the Bronx. Maybe Long Island. Maybe I went to Staten Island to buy it.
Hey, when I was coming down the block, this come floating out your window, Alice. I thought maybe you
No, you're beautiful.
I like that. You must have liked the piano, huh?
Get out! Get it out of here!
I just want to tell you one thing, Ralph. If Rogers ever treated Hammerstein like this, there'd be no some enchanted evening.
Get out! All right, Norton, give me the tune. I got the fourth line of the thing. Norton, will you wake up?
Give me 10 more minutes, to fix it.
Will you play the tune? I got the fourth line of the rhyme.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Why
do you always have to play Swanee River just when I want the tune?
I told you 1,000 times, Ralph, it's the only way I can get into a song is to warm up. It's like a pitcher winding up before he throws the ball.
Forget the tune. I'll sing it without before I blow these lyrics. Now listen to this.
Your voice is like a symphony. Your teeth like pearls from Tiffany. Your lips are sweet like honey. Your ears are just like a bunny.
What do you mean,
Now, that's fine writing. Ears like a bunny.
Maybe we can make it an Easter song.
Look, I'm tired. Let's call it quits. I'm bushed. Tomorrow's another day.
Tomorrow might be too late. Alice is going back to that store tomorrow, and the boss is going to be there. She's going to talk him into taking his piano back.
Look,
you're staying.
I'm not staying. I got to get up early. I got a job to do.
Well, I got a job to do. You don't hear me beefing about having to go to bed. And I got responsibilities. If I fall asleep, I'm liable to run into something.
If I fall asleep, I'm liable to drown. Look, I can't keep my eyes open.
Well, you gotta keep them open. Now stand up. You can't fall asleep that way. Trouble is that maybe we got the wrong idea. Maybe we ought to write some other kind of a song, like a Christmas song. Except it's a little too late for a Christmas song. Maybe a spring song. Wait a minute. A lullaby. There hasn't been a good lullaby in years. Will you wake up, Norton?
Look, will you just do me one favor? Let me lie down and go to sleep. I've been sleeping every other way.
How about a lullaby?
It's very sweet of you, Ralph. I can go to sleep without it.
I don't mean you. I mean me. I got a lullaby. Here, listen to this.
Baby dear, what are you crying for? Do your daddy a big favor. Go to sleep, go to sleep. Do your daddy a big favor.
Good boy, we go to sleep. Shut up.
McGarity, you wouldn't know a good song if you heard one.
Why don't you try me?
Wise guy, he'll get his all right. All right, come on, give me some lullaby music.
I don't like lullaby. I can't. I'm no good at lullabies.
Give me some lullaby music. What do you mean you're no good at? You can write music, you can write any kind of music.
Wait a minute. You're under the wrong impression. What do you think? Music is like a machine. You turn it on, you turn it off. Your words don't do nothing to me. I haven't got a feeling right in here for them.
You better play me some lullaby music, or you're going to have a feeling right under there. Will you stop that?
Nothing, I can't.
Lullaby music. If you can play music, you can play any kind of music.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Name me one rumba that Beethoven wrote.
All right, now listen, you two boys. This racket can't go on any longer. You got the whole building up. You got the neighbors yelling at you. Now you're fighting with each other. Why don't you admit it? Songwriting isn't as easy as you thought it was. So forget about it. Give it up.
I see no reason to give it up.
You're getting nowhere.
Well, if you heard some of the rhymes I just wrote, you wouldn't say that.
Your ears are like a bunny.
You got to pick on the one bad line.
Why don't you give it up, Ralph? I ask you as a favor.
Everything Berlin right wasn't great, you know. He threw away a lot of bad lines.
Yeah, if you could only find out where he threw them.
You're not discouraging me, Alice. You're not discouraging me. I'm loaded with ideas.
If anybody ever hears any of those ideas, they'll sure think you're loaded. Now, I'm telling you something, Ralph. Even if the two of you did write a song, you're never going to get a publisher to listen to it.
Now, that's what you think. Just so happens we know a very successful composer, and he's going to introduce us to a publisher.
He is, huh?
Yes, he is.
Well, I tell you, you're wasting your time.
Well, for your information, he happens to know a publisher who is also a raccoon in the Bayonne Lodge.
I don't care if he's a hippopotamus from Hoboken. You're still wasting your time.
Well, you're wasting your breath because we're not quitting. Now, why don't you go back to bed? You're going to get belted. Yeah. Will you wake up, Norton? Now, we got to think of an idea.
Let's attack it from a different angle. Maybe like a combination of something that we do, every day.
Hey, that's right. Something that we're familiar with, an expression.
Wait a minute. I got it. It's a combination of your job and my job. Something we do and say every day. And the title will make a great hit.
What is it?
Please step to the rear of the sewer.
Please step to the rear of the sewer. What is that supposed to mean?
After my reply to you, I will rest my case. What does shaboom mean?
Look, maybe we ought to go back to the old thing, the thing we started with. All right, let me have it.
Your voice is like a symphony, your teeth like pearls from Tiffany.
Ever hear a noise like that in your life? Why don't you do your vacuum cleaning during the day?
Because on account of you, I got a slate during the day.
That's that McGarity dame. She forgets when a kid wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning, starts squalling, wakes everybody up in the building. Come on, let's go back again.
Your voice is...
Wait. Play it a little soft. If I just had a little peace and quiet, I'm sure I'd get an idea. I need some quiet, some peace.
Okay.
Now go ahead, softly. No wonder I can't write anything. Vacuum cleaners are going, the wife is causing a riot, garbage cans go clanging. Garbage cans go clang? That's it.
What do you mean?
Garbage cans go clang. A novelty song. It's different. Give me it.
Right. Wait. Let me give it a try.
Garbage cans go clang.
Let's try it again.
Garbage cans go clang. Now, we'll get something to rhyme with clang. Sang. Flang. Do you hear him? That's McGarrett again, knocking on my pipe. I'll straighten him out. I'll give his radiator a bang. His radiator a bang.
Huh?
His radiator a bang.
Oh, yeah. All right, wait a minute.
The garbage cans go clang. The radiators go bang.
Let's do it again.
That's it, pal. The garbage cans go clang. The radiators go bang. That's it. It's got to be a hit, Norton. The garbage cans. That's it.
Miss Kay, send those songwriters in.
How do you do, sir?
You Cramden Norton?
Yes, sir. I'm Mr. Cramden. I'm the fella that wrote the words. This is Mr. Norton. He wrote the music.
All right, go ahead.
Sit down.
Am I going to play it?
Yeah. Hurry up, pal.
Wait a minute. I've heard about tunes being lifted, but Stephen Foster...
Wait a minute. No. He always has to play like that on account he has to warm up a little bit. Then he goes into the real song.
What? Warm up the old soup bone like a pitcher winding up before he throws the ball. Oh, no.
Have you got somebody else could play this? We have the music.
Yes, I have my own pianist. Just a moment.
Warm up the soup bowl.
Miss Kay, send Felix in here, please. Right away.
Felix is coming in. How do you do, Mr.
Felix, run through that song once, will you?
Yeah. Ready?
You ready, Felix?
Right.
All right.
The garbage cans go clang, the radiator goes bang, and the vacuum cleaner makes a racket too. Put them all together, and what have you got? That's my love song to you. A car outside gets a flat, somebody steps on a cat, and the next door neighbor's kid is screaming too. Put them all together, and what have you got? That's my love song to you.
A salesman rings the bell, and then he tries to sell a book about the peaceful life in Rome.
But you can have your quiet. It takes a little riot to make a house into a happy home.
To make my life complete, some guys are fixing the street. If I'm lucky, they'll keep drilling all night through. Though it's a mighty din, not like Gershwin or Berlin. It's my love song to you.
Well, what do you think?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Well, it could be very popular. I'm a bus driver. I could teach it to all the drivers. They could sing it to the passengers, and it would get all around.
Listen, just give me a couple of days, that song will be coming from out of every manhole in the city.
Yeah.
Scramble, I'd like to talk to you alone. Hope you don't mind.
Oh, we're the kind of partners that trust each other. You're
Okay,
a sweet
pal.
kid.
Okay.
Mr. Cramden, I want to talk to you about that song. I thought we ought to be alone. Now, I can see...
I know what you're going to say. I know
what...
what you're going to say. You're going to say that you like the lyrics, but you don't like the music too much.
Oh, it's the other way around, Mr. Cramden. That's right. I think that Mr. Norton has written some excellent music, but I just couldn't publish it with those words.
You don't like the... But I could get other rhymes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Cramden. I've been in this business a long time, and I can tell a good lyric writer when I hear one, and I'm afraid you just haven't got it.
But all the lyrics rhyme. I can show you on the paper.
Now, look, I think enough of Mr. Norton's music to bring in a professional lyricist from the outside, and he can write words for the music, and I'll publish the song. But I'll leave that up to you. If you say yes, I'll go ahead. I'll bring in that lyric writer. We'll publish the song.
No,
If you say no, we'll just
saying
forget
no.
it.
You're not the only publisher. We can get another publisher to publish the song. You could get a professional lyric writer.
That's right.
Tune's good.
I think it'll be a hit.
Okay.
Mr. Cramden, you've done a very wonderful thing, and someday you're going to be very proud of yourself, because I feel that Mr. Norton is going places. And when he's one of our top songwriters, you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that you helped him get there. Goodbye, Mr. Cramden. You've done a very unselfish thing.
Out of the house for a while. Why don't you go bowling or
I
something?
don't feel like going out. I don't feel like doing anything.
Ralph, I know what's bothering you. It's been a whole week now, and it's time you snapped out of it. Instead of moping around the house like this, you should feel proud of yourself. What you did for Norton was one of the nicest things that anyone could do for a friend.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't have let me do it. He shouldn't have let another songwriter come in and write the lyrics.
Now, Ralph, you know he had to. It was the opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah, he didn't even appreciate it.
He did appreciate it. The day after it happened, he sent down a box of candy.
Well, send the candy back up to him.
You ate it all.
He knew I was on a diet.
Trixie, it's almost time. I got to turn radio.
It's almost time for what?
They made a record of the song. Bill Randall at this jockey's going to play it over CBS. I wanted you to be the first to hear it. Wait a minute.
Oh, he'll be all right, Ed, but I want you two to know that I'm awfully happy for you both. Thanks.
Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bill Randall on WCBS, and tonight we're very happy to present more of your favorite music. For our first selection tonight, we're also very happy to present a brilliant new young Capitol recording star with a tremendous overnight hit record. And here he is, Bob Manning.
The garbage can goes clang. The radiator goes bang, and the vacuum cleaner makes a racket too. Put them all together and...
That's our song. It's our song.
You bet it's our song. What do you think, anybody could split up our partnership? I took it to a different publisher. He loved the word, even better than the melody.
Yes, sir. Somebody steps on a cat, and the next door neighbor's kid is screaming too.
Beautiful.
Put them all together and what have you got? That's my love song to you. A salesman rings the bell, and then he tries to sell a book about the peaceful life in Rome. But you can have your quiet. It takes a little riot to make a house into a happy home. To make my life complete. Some guys are fixing the street. If I'm lucky, they'll keep drilling all night through. Though it's a mighty den, not like Gershwin or Berlin. It's my love song to you.
It's a riot! It's a riot! It's a riot!
Hi, Ralph.
Oh, hi, Fred.
Going downtown?
No, I'm waiting for Norton. He's going to go home with me. Where's Bradstead? I thought every night you rode home with him.
Yeah, but at the last minute, Marshall called him in. Mr. Marshall called him in and wanted to do some special report of some kind. Poor guy's got tickets for a show tonight.
Oh, why didn't he tell Marshall he had the tickets? Did his day's work. He can go home if he wants.
Well, you know how some guys are when the boss asks them to do something.
You guys kill me when the boss asks you to do something. Can't you get it into your head that the boss is a human being just like anybody else? The boss.
Now, look, Ralph, a guy like you can do it. I know that. But some guys can't. That's the way it goes. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, huh?
Okay, Fred. See you later.
Evening.
Mr. Marshall. Good evening.
Hey, John! John, will you check with the garage and find out what's happened to my car? Thanks.
Sure has been a nice day, hasn't it, Mr. Marshall?
Not for me. Now, there's too much dampness.
Yeah, it was a little damp today. Those are the worst kind of days, damp days. Gee, those new buses that you put on the line, they sure are great, boy.
I'm not happy with them. Those transmissions are pretty bad.
Yeah, I gotta go along with you. Those transmissions, that's probably why they're so difficult to handle.
Hey, Cramden, I've got something to talk to you about.
Look, if it's about that Dan I put in the bus, it wasn't my fault.
What bus? What Dan?
Well,
Oh, never mind about that. No, Mr. Gordon has informed me that you're the best pool player in the bus company. I'd like you to help me.
Me? Help you?
Yes. As an anniversary present, my wife gave me a pool table. Now, much as I've always desired to play, I don't know the first thing about it. I've never played pool.
Never played pool? You mean you never hung out with a bunch of kids in the corner and went up the pool room?
No. When I was young, I was busy playing football, basketball, going to school. And when school was over, my parents took me for a trip around the world. I was never in a pool room.
Gee, that's sad that you never had a kid like that.
Well, I was thinking, Cramden, in the light of your great proficiency, I might impose on you, and you might give me a few pointers.
Well, I'd be glad to, Mr. Marshall, anytime you say.
Well, if it wouldn't be inconvenient, could you come over tonight?
Sure, I'll be there tonight. I'll be glad to come over.
Go ahead, Al. Sorry I'm late, Ralph. I'm sorry I kept you waiting. It took me a year to get cross town on one of those miserable buses your company runs.
This is Mr. Marshall, my boss. This is my friend, Mr. Norton.
Oh, how do you do there, Mr. Marshall? I've heard your name mentioned in the Cramden household many times. As a matter of fact, when Ralph was laid off last year, he talked about you constantly.
Mr. Marshall has just asked me to teach him how to play pool. He got a new pool table.
Well, you picked the right man, Mr. Marshall. Cramden's his name. Pool is his game.
Well, I guess that means we'll have to call off our game for tonight.
No, Cramden, I wouldn't hear of it. No, you keep your appointment with your friend. We can make it another time.
All right, sure. You don't mind if we call it off tonight, do you?
No, sure.
So I've got a better idea. Say, why don't both of you come over? I think I could learn more about the game by watching the two of you play. Oh, there's my car. Yeah, I'll be expecting you at 9 o'clock. 1149 Park Avenue. See you later.
Yes, sir, mister.
Hi, Mr. Marshall.
Mr. Marshall. Now, look, Norton. Tonight is an important night to me, and I don't want you to ruin it.
Look, I understand the situation. I'll be on my #1 behavior. I'll mind my P's and Q's. Don't worry about it.
Well, what an opportunity. You know, this is how you get places. Socializing with the higher-ups.
Don't I know it? Don't I know it? Boy, let me tell you, if it wasn't for a game of golf, I wouldn't be where I am today.
What are you talking about?
Well, you remember during the Depression years, when you couldn't get a job? I picked up a couple of bucks caddying at a golf course. See, that's how I got my job in the sewer.
Oh, you mean you caddied for a sewer official?
No. As a matter of fact, the guy I was caddying for at the time was a wholesale butcher. He got up there at the first tee. What a pair of mitts on him, Gets up there at the first tee, takes a whack at the ball, goes over the fence, out of the course, and down the sewer. Well, Johnny on the spot, I go scrambling down there in the sewer, and I met the foreman. He took a liking to me and hired me. I got the job.
You ought to send that story in to Reader's Digest.
Hey, come on, let's get going. Trixie's got a lasagna dinner waiting for me. We got to get dressed up and cleaned up. We're playing pool on Park Avenue tonight. Boy, imagine this guy rich enough to have his own pool table.
Well, you can never tell, Norton. After tonight, I'm liable to have my own pool table in my apartment.
If you do, you'll have to stand in the sink to make a shot.
Just make yourselves at home, gentlemen. Mr. Marshall will be here presently. He's in the library.
What?
He's in the library.
Oh, he ought to be here soon. The library closes at 9.
May I take your hats, gentlemen?
Oh, certainly. Here you are.
Thank you.
I'll be careful of that. I just had it blocked. Whoa, what a spiffy joint, huh?
How about this?
Hey.
I bet your furniture in here cost a couple of $100 at least.
Easy.
Hey, get a load of this thing. A toppin' caught by J.J. Marshall, April 1939, Key West, Florida.
Oh, about that.
Look at that thing. Huh?
That's the funny thing. My boss has got one of those in his living room.
When was he in Florida?
Never. He killed it in self-defense down the sewer one. Hey. Oh, this.
What's that?
First prize, International Dog Show, awarded to Mrs. J.J. Marshall.
Well, she might not be attractive, but she's a very lovely woman.
It's for breeding dogs.
Oh.
Boy. This is beautiful. Wonder what this here for?
Oh, well, that's to open and shut the drapes.
Open and shut the drapes? Don't open and shut the drapes.
Must be stuck.
You rang for me, sir?
No.
My mistake, sir.
Gotta give it a good gang.
I told you nothing happened. It don't open and shut nothing at all.
That's all.
You rang for me, sir?
No, he didn't ring. What?
Must be one of those nuts. It's gotta be connected to something.
Oh, boy, this is a beautiful table. Level, beautiful. Boy, I hope it don't throw my game, that's all.
Now, look, no matter what Mr. Marshall does tonight, every shot he takes, compliment him. Encourage him.
I know the situation tonight, Ralph. Don't worry about a thing. And may I take this opportunity to wish you a lot of luck tonight, because this may be the first step up that ladder of success.
Thank you, Norton.
Good evening, Camden.
Hello, Marshall.
Sorry to have kept you waiting. Now, I want to make sure that we're not disturbed.
Okay.
You rang for me, sir?
Yes, Roberts, I won't take any phone calls.
Very good, sir.
I didn't like that. It was tied to the butler.
I'm in your hands. What do we do first?
Well, the first thing to do is to pick out a cue.
Yeah, get the old cue stick.
Here you are, Mr. Marshall.
There
Here you
you
are,
go.
Norton.
Thank you.
Then the next thing you do is to chalk up. Here. Yes, just like this.
That's it.
That's so that in case the tip is slippery, you chalk it up and then it won't skid off the ball.
That's it. Chalk up.
Say, look at how well he did that, Norton.
Oh, he was a good chalker for the first time.
Yeah. Now, the next thing to do is to learn how to stroke. See, you put it in between, you have the ball there, and you put the cue in between your fingers like that. And you have what they call a bridge, see? You go back easy, easy. And the idea is to hit the white ball into that pack and break them all up.
That's it. When all the balls break up there on a break and one of the balls goes into each pocket there, each one of those is a point for you.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Now, go ahead. You take a hit at the ball.
Well, now, you'll have to be patient with me. Remember, I'm just a beginner.
Come on there.
Oh, and you said you were just a beginner. But I missed the ball. Yeah, but you came so close. Yeah. Try again.
Excellent, excellent.
But I missed it again.
Yeah, but you're getting closer.
Yeah. Here, go ahead. Try again. Well, this time, I'll hit it. Good. Easy. Oh. Look at that.
Boy, Mr. Marshall, if anybody had told me that you was a pool hustler when I met you this afternoon, I'd have laughed right in their face.
Well, you're both being very kind and encouraging, and I appreciate it, but I still think that my idea of this afternoon is the best. I'll learn a lot more about the game if you two play and I just watch.
Well, all right, any way you want it. You know, I want to tell you something, Mr. Marshall. When you do learn this game, it's perfect for relaxing. You're going to like it.
I was never aware until recently how many men play pool.
Oh, it must be 9 out of 10 down at the bus depot play.
I think, Ralph, that the average is higher than that.
Well, I'll show you how to stroke.
All right?
Now, you see, in order to get the
Mr. Marshall, I was
stroke-
just thinking, down at the bus company where you got plenty of room, why don't you just set up a recreation room and set up a couple of pool tables and the fellas can play pool?
Recreation room?
Well, certainly. Yeah, most of the bus drivers have a quick lunch and they got time off and they'd like to shoot a couple of games of pool. It's a relaxing game. I mean, to coin a phrase, a relaxed bus driver is a efficient bus driver.
Now, in order to stroke...
Well,
you,
that's
just
a
pull the
very
sack back.
interesting suggestion, Norton. You know, my greatest concern has always been easing the strain on my drivers.
Yeah.
What with the traffic, overcrowded buses trying to maintain a schedule, they have their problems.
Oh, sure.
Now,
You talk about the strain on the bus driver. I've just often thought that you got to get the right person into the right job.
Yeah.
I mean, some fellows are easygoing and they're right for the rush hour crowds and everything. I think the most important thing is the temperament and basic metabolism of the man.
Now, like
Well,
you,
that's
sometimes
very,
19
very
ounces is
interesting,
enough.
Norton. I like a man who can think on his feet.
Thank you, Mr.
Say, Ralph, what do you think of that suggestion?
That's very good. Now, here's how you stroke, Mr. Marshall. You place
I don't
it
want to be
very
putting in all
slow
the
and
time
easy.
because I don't know nothing about your business. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to tell you how to run. You're talking about buses running on schedule and everything. Have you ever thought of running odd and even buses?
Odd and even buses?
Certainly, the odd buses stop at the odd streets. The even buses stop at the even streets. See, splits up the crowd. The buses keep rolling, and you're on schedule.
Norton, will you please stop
Odd
bothering
and
me?
even buses. You know, that's a very interesting, a very, very good thought. Mr. Norton, in what line of business are you?
I work for the city.
In what capacity?
Capacity, about 50,000 gallons a day. I work in the sewer.
Well, I like a man with a sense of humor.
Thank you.
Now, look, if you want to ever...
Now, never mind, Ralph, never mind. Say, Mr. Norton, how would you like to come to work for me?
See? Work for you at the bus company?
Yes. Now, for a long time, I felt the need in our organization for a man who understands the driver's problems, for a bus driver supervisor. A man who really can understand their problems, find ways of alleviating them, and raise their morale. Now, from the few things I've heard from you tonight, you'd fit that position perfectly. Oh, I realize this is rather sudden. I don't want your answer right away. Why don't you sleep on it and get back to me tomorrow?
Mr. Marshall, I'd like to sleep on it. I would. I'm on the late shift tomorrow. It'd be all right if I get into your office a little before noon.
Fine, fine. You come straight up to my office, and if there's time, we'll have lunch together.
Good thinking. Good.
Ralph, I want to thank you for introducing me to Mr. Norton. Now, let's see that break shot. Very simple. Just put the ball down, calmly stroke, and then hit. Something like that.
Trixie, what time is it?
10:30. Hey, I gotta go downtown shopping tomorrow. There's a big sale on men's shorts, 89 cents a pair. Norton could sure use some.
So could Ralph. What sizes they got?
Oh, all sizes, 32 to 50.
No, nothing there for Ralph.
Oh, Alice, would you please sit down here? Your coffee's getting ice cold.
Oh, Trixie, I haven't got the patience to sit. Ralph was so enthused and so hopeful when he left here tonight that, I guess it's just sort of catching.
Oh, and Alice, wouldn't it be wonderful if Ralph became an executive of the company because of tonight?
Oh, Trixie, on the strength of spending one evening with your boss, you don't become an executive, you know.
I guess that would be a little too much to hope for. But I'll bet tonight's one night Ralph is never going to forget.
I'm sure of that.
Well, gee, I better get back upstairs, Alice. You know, I still haven't made those 3 corned beef sandwiches for Norton to take to work tomorrow.
Oh, thank goodness I don't have to bother with that. Ralph has his lunches in a restaurant.
So does Ed.
Well, what are the 3 corned beef sandwiches for?
That's what he eats on the way to lunch.
Oh. Bye, Alice. Bye, Trixie.
Oh, hi, Ralph. Ralph.
I don't ever want you to see that girl again. And I don't ever want the name of Norton mentioned in this house again.
Well, Ralph, what happened?
That sneak. That Benedict Arnold.
Oh, Norton?
I told you never to mention his name in this house.
Well, will you tell me what happened, Ralph?
He talked Marshall into giving him a job.
A job with a bus company? Then why are you so upset?
Because he's going to be my boss.
Your boss?
That's right. Marshall's making him a supervisor over the drivers.
Norton?
Yeah, I asked you not to mention his name in this house.
Well, Ralph, how could you know who I mean, how could he talk Mr. Marshall into offering him a job like that?
Very simple. He walks into Mr. Marshall's house and he starts making idiotic suggestions. And with every suggestion, Marshall's going along with him like a dope, believing everything he said.
You mean he offered him a job on the basis of his suggestions?
Oh, sure he did. If I live to be 100 years old, I'll never forget tonight. I can hear every word Marshall said to him. Why, you'd be perfect for the job, Mr. Norton. My, that's a wonderful suggestion you made, Mr. Norton. Oh, Mr. Norton, I like a man who can stand and think on his feet. Norton works in a sewer. He's got to stand on his feet to think. If he sat down, he'd drown.
Ralph, sweetie, we have to face this thing realistically. Now, if Mr. Marshall offered him a job on the basis of his suggestions, he must have thought pretty highly of those things. And in that case, Ralph, that's what's upsetting you. It's a blow to your pride.
It is not my pride, Alice. It is not my pride.
Well, your status hasn't changed, Ralph. Your job is still the same.
Let's face it, Alice. Let's face it. When he comes to work for the company, I quit.
But why?
I got my pride.
Ralph, have you talked this over with Ed?
I should say not. We came out of Marshall's house, I turned my back on him, and I walked right away from him.
Well, Ralph, what makes you so sure he even wants the job? Maybe by this time he's thought it over and decided not to take it. After all, Ed's very happy at the sewer, and he's due for a promotion.
Maybe you're right. He likes that job he's got. If he left the sewer, he'd be like a fish out of water. What am I getting all upset about?
Oh, Alice?
Oh.
No, it's very late. Excuse me for coming. Well, I got to talk to you. I figured on talking to you on the way home, but you left me kind of sudden like. Excuse Excuse me a minute, now. It's a very ticklish situation, and just a few things that you and me have got to straighten out. Now then, I know that all the boys down at the bus company realize that you and me are very good friends. Therefore, if I get this position, naturally, they're going to think that I'm going to favor you. Now, that's bad for you, it's bad for me, it's bad for the company. So, I figured that for the first couple of months, you could call me Mr. Norton.
Ed, I don't think there'll be any necessity for that whatsoever. It's a very informal place.
You got a point? You got a point, Alice? That's right. You could call me Ian.
Listen, Ed. Why don't you wait until you get the job, and then those things will just straighten themselves out.
Maybe you're right, Alice. Maybe you're right. Ralph, another thing. I know that during business hours and everything, we can't be real buddy-buddy, but just because I have an executive position, I don't want you to think that in any way it will alter our friendship. And as long as I'm an executive in that bus company, you are sure of being a bus driver as long as you live. That's no way to treat you. Get out!
That settles it. I'm quitting.
Now listen, Ralph. You know and I know that you're not going to quit your job. But there's no sense in your feeling this way, Ralph, because you're just going to make yourself miserable. And then you're going to hate your job. And besides that, Ralph, you're just going to let everybody else at the bus company know that you're jealous of Ed.
Me jealous of him? Jealous of him? Jealous of what? Jealous of what? Because he's got a job with his own office? Behind a big desk? With a secretary that he dictates to? Goes out and has lunch with Marshall? I'm jealous of that? Whoa, how I want that job!
Ralph. There'll be other promotions and other executive jobs, and you just wait and see. You're going to get one of them.
What's the use of kidding, Alice? You picked the loser. I'm never going to be any executive. Never going to be anything but a bus driver. 16 years I worked for that company. Where am I? Same spot I was in when I started. Norton meets the boss one day, makes a couple of suggestions. Look where he gets. It's the difference. I just haven't got it, that's all. And you're right. I'm just angry with Norton because of my pride. Stupid pride.
Ralph, I'm not going to have you talk that way. You are a very valuable man in that company.
Yeah. I'm going upstairs.
Why, Ralph?
Going up, tell Norton I'm sorry I yelled at him and that I congratulate him.
I'd like to see you a minute, Ralph.
I wanted to see you, too.
Well, I owe you an apology.
An apology?
Yeah. If it hadn't been for Trixie having such a good memory, I would have really done you an injustice. I was upstairs talking to her about my idea about odd and even buses, you know, and she reminded me of your idea for alternate buses.
Alternate buses?
Yeah. Remember when you was having dinner at our house one night, you were sounding off about the bus schedule and everything, you said, why don't they have alternate buses? Well, I said to Mr. Marshall, odds and even buses. You said alternate. It was your idea. I just used different words. I got to thinking of it, but all of these suggestions that I gave to Mr. Marshall were yours. I just gave them to him in a different form of words, that's all. I guess the ideas were just stuck in the back of my head from listening to you.
But what about that thing you said about the right guy for the right job?
Well, that goes back to what you said about poor old Havermeyer when he got laid off the job. You were sore, you remember? You said, put Havermeyer on a shift where it's not so busy and he'll do a good job. Remember?
Yeah.
But your trouble is you tell me all the wonderful ideas. Instead, you should be telling them to Mr. Marshall. And another thing, when you get ideas, write it down on a piece of paper. When you get these thoughts, write it down, jot it down so you don't forget it. Boy. Tonight I was so proud of myself. I thought I had a wonderful head on my shoulders. Till I found out it was yours. I apologize, Ralph. I'm sorry.
Norton, I'm probably the most fortunate guy in the whole world to have a friend like you.
Well, thank
You're
you.
one of the nicest guys I know.
And listen, you're coming with me tomorrow, you know. You're coming with me right down to Mr. Marshall's office, and I'm going to tell him that all the ideas that I gave him are your ideas, and you are the man for supervisor.
Oh, thanks, Ed.
Wow. And furthermore, if things pan out the way that I think they will, and there's no reason why they shouldn't, and there's an opening in that bus company for me, I'd be glad to work for you. RK.
Guy's a pretty nice guy, ain't he? One of the best guys in the whole world.
You better write that down, Ralph, before you forget it.
I'll write this down, too. Baby, you're the greatest.
Let's take a shot of him from here as he's coming out of the building after a day's work, huh?
You know, I've taken pictures of big shots, movie stars, kings. I've never run into a ham like this one.
What do you expect? Yesterday's an ordinary bus driver. Today he's going to have his picture taken, getting a three-page spread in Universal Magazine. Tomorrow he's being honored at City Hall. It's got to affect him.
Big deal. He won an award as the safest bus driver in the city.
Sure, it's a big deal. It's the biggest thing that happened to a bus driver. Look, you all set?
Yeah, bring in the man of the hour.
Okay. Mr. Crandon, you can come in now. Oh, look, make it natural, huh? Mr. Crandon, what are you trying to do?
Well, I thought that would be a good pose, you know, for the cover of your magazine.
Look, Mr. Crandon, this picture isn't going to be on the cover. This is just one in a series of articles dealing with the big days in the lives of people in various lines of work.
Well, when you wrote the story about Marilyn Monroe, you had her picture on the cover.
If you get into a bikini bathing suit, we'll put your picture on the cover.
Now, look, Mr. Crandon, just stand there as you are, and we'll take the shot as though you just come out, huh? Charlie, go ahead.
You?
Well, if that's all, I'm going back to the office.
Okay, Charlie, fine.
See you tomorrow at City Hall. The commissioner's office.
Yeah, 12:30 sharp. Well, Mr. Crandon, can we finish this interview over a cup of coffee?
Oh, well, I'd like to, but like I said, I'm waiting for my friend that I told you about, Ed Norton. He's going to meet me here.
Well, I guess we can do it here. Mr. Crandon, something you said struck me as being very strange. Now, you've just won the award as the safest bus driver of the year, and yet you say that you felt that bus drivers don't get the recognition they should.
Well, that's right. You see, this award that I'm getting is a special award. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not an award that's given out all the time. And like cops and firemen, they get awards all the time. And I think that a bus driver is just as much of a public servant as they are.
Yeah, but those awards are usually given out for bravery in the face of extreme danger. Now, when does a bus driver have to show bravery in the face of extreme danger?
When? All the time.
Huh?
Only the other day, a lady got on my bus. She's got a dog that must have been 6 foot high. It's one of those French poodles, you know, with the Italian haircuts. Yeah. So she tries to get on the bus with the dog. I said, wait a minute, lady, you can't bring that mongrel in here. She says, what do you mean, mongrel? It's a pedigree. I said, I don't care what it is. Pedigree or a mongrel, it can't get in the bus.
Well, what did she say to that?
She says, how dare you? She says, this dog is worth $10,000. Well,
then what did you do?
I said, if he's worth that much, let him take a cab.
Hey, up, boy!
Well, how's the celebrity? All ready to go home now?
Yeah, pal. Oh, by the way, this is Mr. Martin from Universal Magazine. This is my friend Ed Norton I was telling you about.
How do you do that?
Well, I'm glad to have the chance to ask you some questions, Mr. Norton.
Well, if the category is Ralph Crampton, I'm willing to take a shot at the $64,000 question.
Well, let's see. Now, to begin with, your close friends?
Well, I am as close as anybody can get to Ralph Crampton. We've known each other for a long time.
Now, tell me, how long ago did you meet?
Oh, I'd say 150 pounds ago.
You're a riot, Norton, a real riot.
Mr. Norton, tell me something. What kind of work do you do?
Well, I'm employed by the city.
I see. In a white-collar job?
No, you'd say it was more of a what-collar job. I'm a underground engineer.
He works in the sewer.
That's a layman's way of putting it.
Well, Mr. Norton, tell me something. Have you ever ridden in your friend's bus here?
Oh, yes, I ride my friend's bus every opportunity I get the chance because I'm assured of a comfortable, smooth, safe ride.
Mm-hmm.
And besides that, he lets me ride on the bus for nothing.
Yeah, I'm sorry Charlie left. I'd like to have gotten a picture of you two together.
Oh, well, if you want to get a picture of the two of us, just be at the commissioner's office tomorrow. My friend is going to be there to see me get the award.
Yeah, you betcha I wouldn't let my old buddy boy be there receiving a big award, the biggest day in his life, without me being there. I'll be there.
And by the way, our wives will be there, too. You can
Well,
take
that's
a picture
fine.
of them.
Tell me something. How about the women? Are they close friends, too?
Oh, they're inseparable.
Well, that's fine. Well, Mr. Cramden, according to my notes, you're very consistent. No, you're steady. That's it, steady. Hey, wait a minute. That's the angle I'll feature in my story, your steadiness. Now, 14 years with the same bus company, happily married, and all of you good friends throughout all those years.
Oh, well, the four of us get along like the three musketeers.
Well, I'll see you and your wives tomorrow afternoon at the commissioner's office.
Okay.
Mr. Norton?
Nice to meet you.
Mr. Cramden?
Glad to have seen you, Mr.
Pleasure.
Martin. Thank you.
See you, man.
All right.
Good report. Well, I don't mind telling you one thing, Ralph. I'll tell you, I've been worrying all day long. What a day I've been putting through.
What are you worried about?
What am I worried about? This is the last day. This is the last day before you receive the award. You've gone all this time with no accidents. Now, I mean, what would happen to you, the thing would happen, you get an accident. That's the logical thing to happen to you and ruin the whole thing.
That's ridiculous. One day is just the same as another to me.
Well, I don't care. Just for safekeeping, when I got up early this morning, I crossed both my fingers on both hands. And it's not easy working a shovel this way, I'll tell you that.
Hey, Ralph.
Oh,
Hey, St.
hey, Fred.
Tomorrow's a big day, huh?
Yeah, Fred, and you're just the guy I want to see.
Huh? What about?
Well, I got to go down to the commissioner's office tomorrow, and I'm bringing Norton and his wife, and I'm taking Alice with me, and I'd like to go in class. Would you lend me your car?
Well, let me see. I'm working tonight. Clemens will give me a lift home. I'm going to sleep all day tomorrow. I don't see why not. Here, got the key
that's
somewhere
swell,
here.
Fred.
There's the key. Car's in the parking lot down the street.
Thank you very much,
Have
Freddie.
a great day, Ralph.
All right, pal.
So long, Ralph.
I'll leave it in the parking lot for you tomorrow when I
Fine,
bring it
thanks.
back.
All right, buddy.
He's all right, that guy.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, Ralph? I was just thinking. Hey, you know, there's a lot of good drivers in the bus company. You've been driving now for 14 years without an accident. I mean, how come some of the other fellas haven't been able to do that? How do you account for that?
Well, Norton, it's like everything else. Group of men are picked to do a job, trained in the same fashion as each other. But there's always one man in the group that stands out far in front of the others.
Yeah, I guess you're right there, Ralph. If you stood out any more in front, you wouldn't be able to get behind the wheel of a bus.
Let's go home, Norton. Alice, where did you put my belt?
Right here on the table for you, Ralph.
Why do you have to hide everything?
Ralph, will you please relax? Now, here's your tie.
All right, will you hurry up? We're gonna be late. Are you sure this tie is going to match my new jacket?
Ralph, I wouldn't have picked it out if I didn't think so.
All right. Will you hurry up and get dressed?
Ralph, I could have been dressed a long time ago if you'd only let me alone. Now, will you do me a favor? Just calm down and stop being so nervous.
I am not nervous, Alice. I am not nervous. You're just saying that to make me nervous. All right, you're satisfied? You got me nervous now. Alice, I don't like the way these shoes look. Where are my other ones?
They're at the shoemaker's, Ralph.
Well, you took them there last night. Aren't they ready yet?
Ralph, Ralph, will you be reasonable? He couldn't possibly have finished them this fast.
He could if he paid more attention to fixing shoes instead of the Grand Opera.
Let me see your shoes. They look perfectly all right to me, Ralph. They're fine.
Sure, they look fine to you. Well, they don't look fine to me.
Never mind all of that. How do you like my new dress, Ralph?
Very nice.
I certainly hope it'll look well when they take the pictures.
It'll look fine. Now, will you hurry up? We gotta be there at 12:30.
Our laundry didn't come back yet, and I'd like to have a handkerchief for the breast pocket of my new sport coat.
All right, there's some handkerchiefs in the top drawer.
How about this one?
It's one of my new ones. Remember, just wear it in the pocket. It's for showing, not blowing.
What are you doing?
I can't make a knot with this thing. It's made of silk and a knot won't stick.
Well, you're nervous. Here, wait a minute, wait. Right. Hey, let the old sailor show you here now. Now, wait a minute. Just hold still. You want a big knot or a small knot?
I don't care, just as long as it's a knot.
Just hold still and don't be so excited.
Wait a minute! Trying to do? Choke me to death?
Just trying to help you, that's all. Now you spoil the knot.
I'll spoil your head in a minute. Why I ask you to do anything for me?
Oh, hi, Ralph.
And, honey, what have you been doing down here so long? I'm all ready.
I've been helping Ralph there tie his tie. All I got to do is put on my jacket. I'm all ready.
Oh, Ralph, is Alice ready?
I don't know what she's doing in there. She's been dressing for 3 hours and a half. Will you come on?
Oh, well, if I gotta wait, I might as well be Hey, Ralph, how do you like my new dress?
Sorry. Didn't I see you wearing that before?
Oh, you couldn't possibly. I just bought it.
I like it, Ralphie boy. That's an exclusive creation.
Oh, Evan, will you please go up and get your jacket?
I'm going.
Hiya, Trixie. How do you like my new... Oh, Trixie.
Hey, don't those dresses look alike?
Alike? They're like the Bobbsey twins.
Trixie, how could you do this to me?
What are you talking about?
You know perfectly well what I'm talking about, Trix. I told you I was going down to Bloom Gardens to buy this dress. I described it right down to the smallest detail.
You mean I told you?
Trixie, you know that I described this dress to you first.
The shoe was on the other foot.
Are you going to start on the shoes now?
Now, wait a minute. There's nothing wrong with wearing the same dress, is there?
What?
Well, look, it's very simple how to fix this whole thing up. One of yous will have to take the dress off and wear something else.
Yeah, but which one?
I guess you better go upstairs and change your dress, Trixie. Mine fits.
I'm wearing this dress.
I'm wearing this dress.
Well, I'm not going if she's wearing it.
I'm not going if she's wearing that dress.
Oh, but... What are they doing?
Look, Ralph, you and Alice better make plans. Go there without us. You know how I'd like to be there to see you get the award, Ralph.
Look, Norton, you gotta go up and talk Trixie out of taking that dress off.
I'm too young to die.
Here it is, the biggest day of my life, and everybody's ruining it.
Oh, look, Ralph, I'll do it. Only for you. I wouldn't do it for nobody else, but I'll do it for you. Into the valley of death rides the 600.
Alice, will you come out here? I want to talk to you for a minute.
It's no use, Ralph. I'm not going to change my mind.
Alice, are you going to tell me that you're going to let 14 years of friendship between you and Trixie be broken up over a dress?
Yes, if it's the same dress.
Everybody's going nuts. This is ridiculous.
Ralph, how do you think it's going to look when the pictures come out in the magazine and there I am standing right next to Trixie in the exact same dress that she has on? Every woman who sees the magazine's going to laugh at me.
Is that all you're worried about? All right, when I start to take a picture of us, I'll step right in front of Trixie.
No, Ralph.
Oh, you realize we got to be there in a few minutes, Alice?
I'm sorry, Ralph. You'll just have to go without me.
Go without you? All the fun in receiving the award, Alice, is having you by my side when they give it to me. Can't you understand that?
All right, Ralph, I'm sorry. I guess I was just being selfish and childish, like you said. I'll go in and change my dress, Ralph, and I'll be right out.
Sweetheart, you're the greatest.
Alice, could I speak to you a minute?
Trixie, I'm awfully sorry for the way I spoke to you before, and I've decided I'm going to go in and change my dress, and I'll be right out.
No. Now, you wear the dress. I'll keep my raincoat on, buttoned up like this, and nobody even know we have identical dresses on. Oh, and Alice, I'm awful sorry for those silly things I said.
Oh, that's all right, Trix, but really it isn't fair. I don't mind. I'll go in.
Alice, will you shut up? Now let it be this way. She'll wear the coat, you'll wear the dress. I'm going in and put on my jacket. Will you tell Norton to get ready?
He'll be right down here.
Trixie, you sure you don't mind?
Of course not. Oh, Alice, we've been through too much together to let a silly thing like this come between us.
We certainly have.
Oh, Alice, I don't know. I just think that dress is just wonderful on you.
Well, you know something that looks awful cute on you, too.
Well, are we ready to go?
You look very sharp.
Thank you, Norton.
Ed? All right, Ed.
All right, come on, let's go. You sneak. I am not going out of this house till you take that coat off. All right, Norton. All right, I heard you.
After all, you want to get dressed up nice? So do I. And you were big enough to say, Norton, you wear the jacket. I mean, I know you like the jacket. You like the looks of it. It looked good on you. It was nice, but you let me wear it because you're a friend of mine, and I want to thank you, and I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Norton.
I admit, I got the build for it, for this particular type of garment.
All right, Norton, now let's get going.
Come on.
Ow. Oh,
What?
I'm going to have to go upstairs.
What'd you do?
Well, I just took a step and my heel came loose. If I take another one, it's going to fall off.
This is a plot. What's a plot? This whole thing is a plot against me. Everybody's plotting against me. We're late.
All right, Ralph. Just go and bring the car around while we wait for Trixie. That'll save time.
Yeah, I'll hurry.
Go, hurry. Get your hair fixed down
I know
there.
how she hurries.
Come on. Give me the keys. I'll go get the car for you.
What do you mean, give you the keys?
Give me the keys. I'll get the car for you. You're driving to the Safe Award dinner. You're a little nervous and you're upset. Let me get the car. I'll chauffeur you. I'll drive it for you. It'll be better off.
Are you trying to put the jinx on me?
No,
I'll set
I'm
the
not
car
trying to put
myself.
the jinx on you.
Will you please leave him alone? He's a little jumpy.
I know. That's why I offered to drive the car, take the strain off his nerves, that's all.
Well, he'll be all right. You know, Ralph. It's just that this is such a big day for him.
Well, I know it's a big day. Going down there to City Hall, getting the award, meeting all the muckety-mucks, the commissioner, the mayor, Universal Magazine, interviewing them all.
I know. Just between you and me, Ed, I'm a little nervous myself.
Well,
This could mean a lot to Ralph's career, you know.
Certainly it could. Hey, I wasn't going to mention this, but somebody I heard down at the bus company, somebody said that somebody had an idea of putting a plaque on the front of Ralph's bus saying, "You are now driving in the world with the world's safest bus driver, Ralph Cramden."
Oh, a plaque like that. Ed, you can tell me. Who got the idea?
Ralph.
Well, I'll be very glad when we get there.
Boy, so will I. What is keeping him anyway?
What do you think that was, Ed?
I don't know. I'm afraid to look.
It can't be, Ed. It just can't be.
Why don't you look where you're going? It's your fault. My fault. I had to right away. Why don't you learn how to drive?
Look what you did with my car!
Your car? How about my car?
Oh,
Oh, boy.
Ed, I feel very faint all of a sudden.
All right, take it easy. Take it easy now. Alice, sit down and rest. Wait a minute. I'll be right back.
You pulled over
Lucky thing I had another pair of the same color. What's the matter?
Ralph had an accident.
I'll find one.
Yeah, go ahead and find a cop, because I'd like to see one.
You're gonna be sorry for this.
I'm gonna be sorry. Are you kidding? Where did you get your license? In a raffle?
I'll show you. Helen, you wait in the car. I'm getting a policeman.
Go ahead and get a policeman. I want a policeman, too. Wait a minute.
There's nothing in the world that you want less than a policeman. Don't you realize that?
What are you talking about? This wasn't my fault.
Well, a policeman will get here. He's got to make a report, don't he? He goes over the accident, makes a report, gives it to the paper. A newspaper reporter gets it. I could just see the headline.
So what? What's wrong?
Safe award drive winner on way to receiving award has accident.
You're right. Well, what am I going to do?
Well, just settle a thing here. You pay for the scratch you put on his car, and you get Freddie Muller a new fender.
Hey, that's right. That way nobody will be any the wiser.
So,
yeah.
Well, maybe you're right.
Why, yes, there's never a policeman around when you need him.
Now, look, pal, what are you getting all upset for?
Yeah, well, it's your fault.
Who cares whose fault it was? We don't need a policeman. We don't need a cop to settle this. Listen, look, all I did was scratch your fender. Now, look, I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
You square the whole thing.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing for you that I'm in a big hurry. Otherwise, I'd make you go to the police station. Drivers like you are a menace to the community.
You're absolutely right. Now, do you want to take my name and address?
Yeah, well, I can only repeat that you're very
I'll settle
fortunate
the
that I'm
whole
such a
thing with
big
you Monday.
hurry. Yes, no, I'll make you settle right now. What's your name?
Ralph Cramden, Kramden, 328 Chauncey Street.
That's a sensible way to settle things.
Okay.
Well, at least it turned out okay.
Hey, dirty old. That kills me. It was not my fault.
Look, just don't get upset. You're getting all upset now. Let's calm down and look nice when we go down there. There's no sense in getting upset. Now, listen, the boys in the sewer there, when we get upset, we got a little motto, a little saying that gives us a little comfort in time of need. Maybe I can pass it on to you. May I favor you with this little ode? When the tides of life turn against you, and the current upsets your boat, don't waste those tears on what might have been. Just lay on your back and float. They should be right here. All right, gentlemen. They'll be right here in a minute. They're on their way up now. Just relax.
Come on.
Here they are. There they are.
How are you?
Right over this way, please.
All right.
Over this way.
Over here?
That's right. Mr. Cramden, is any particular type of pose you'd like?
Oh, we're going to take a pair. All right. Let's see.
How are you?
You want to arrange? You can arrange it yourself.
Arrange it? All right.
Just get close together.
My hat look all right, Ralph?
Huh?
My
Yeah.
hat?
Fine. How are you?
Well, you, profile?
A little closer, please.
Hat.
Oh.
All right, folks.
Hold it. Ah!
That's it.
That's
very much.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Mr. Cramden, I want to congratulate you. And the city is proud of your record.
Thank you very, very much, sir.
Yes. Oh, by the way, Mr. Cramden, I'm very sorry that the commissioner won't be here himself to give you the award, but he was taken down with a sudden attack of the flu.
Well, who's going to present the award?
Well, I've arranged to have Judge Lawrence Norton Hurdle take the commissioner's place.
Judge Hurdle?
That's right.
Hollerin' Hurdle.
Hollerin' Hurdle?
Yeah, he's a traffic court judge, famous for his $50 fines and 50-minute lectures.
Oh, yes, that's right. He's very strict about traffic offenders, but there's nobody in the world he admires more than a careful driver.
Well...
He said he'd be very honored to give you the award.
Thank you very much.
Yes, now I'll get the judge. Oh, by the way, after you get your award, I'll take you upstairs and let you meet the mayor.
Oh, I'm so proud of you,
I always
sweetheart.
wanted to meet the mayor, I'll tell you that.
His Honor, Judge Hurdle. Judge Hurdle is right.
Is this the man who gets the award?
Humna.
Judge, is something wrong?
Well, Mr. Cramden and I were involved in a traffic accident a few months ago.
Accident?
Humna,
Well, now, wait until you hear the whole story. I was under the impression that the accident was Mr. Cramden's fault, that he didn't put out his hand to make a right turn. But on the way over here, my wife informed me that he did put out his hand and that I failed to see it. Well, for a very good reason, because unluckily I was wearing my reading glasses instead of my regular glasses. So the accident is my fault. And to keep the record straight, I'm fining myself $50.
Don't forget the 50-minute lecture.
Mr. Cramden, it gives me real pleasure to present to you this award as the year's safest bus driver.
Boy, Ralph, good boy in there. Thank you. May I say thank you very much in presenting me with this award. I know that I am not worthy of it, but still I would wish to accept it on behalf of all the other bus drivers in the country who drive buses. Glad to see that people realize that a bus driver hasn't got an easy job of it, and that the safety of the public is always the uppermost things in their mind. And once again, I want to thank you and you for presenting me with this, and thank you fellas for taking the pictures. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to go upstairs with my wife and my friends and meet the mayor.
Yes, this way.
Okay, thank you very much.
Here. Nice speech, Ralph.
Bye.
Checking new installation. Bensonhurst 07741. Okay, thank you. Everything's in working order, miss.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you ever so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Trixie, this is Alice. Yeah. Guess where I'm calling you from? No, I'm home. In my apartment. Yeah, I got a phone. Just now. Oh, Trixie, it's the most beautiful phone you ever saw. It's black. Yeah, rush right down and see it. Okay. Alice, what a surprise!
But after 15 years, how did you ever get Ralph to change his mind?
I didn't. He doesn't know anything about it yet.
You mean you had this phone put in without telling him?
That's right.
Yeesh.
Well, I just had to do it, Trix. You know, every time the bus company wants to get in touch with Ralph, they got to send a man over here. And ever since my mother moved out to Astoria, I just haven't been able to get in touch with her at all. So I had to have a telephone, but the only trouble is I don't know how I'm going to break it to Ralph. If I could just get him in a good mood before he sees it.
Well, you better get him in a good mood while he's still out in the hall, because he's going to see that as soon as he comes through the door.
Yeah. I know, I'll hide it.
Yeah, good idea.
Go right in here.
Yeah, that's swell.
Then, I can wait, you see, till I get him in a good mood, and then
Yeah.
I'll tell him about it.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, Alice.
Okay, Trix.
Well, hiya, sweetheart.
Hiya, dear.
And how is the charming Mrs. Norton?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. I'll see you later, Alice. I better be going.
All right, Trix.
Lovely girl, that Trixie.
Oh, Ralph, I'm so glad you're in a good mood, because there's something I just got to tell you.
Oh, hey, before you tell me anything, let me tell you something. You know that guy that works down, he's a bus driver down at the depot, Joe Lustig?
Uh-huh.
You know, the guy that's always making those stale jokes about me being slightly overweight?
Mm-hmm.
Well, last night he goes home to dinner, see, and he sits down. No sooner does he sit down to eat, the telephone rings. And they want him to come down and take some guy's place who's sick, you know, take over the shift. Well, he gets on, he says, I don't want to do this. He starts complaining and beefing, you know. He says, it's not my turn.
Well, whose turn was it?
It was my turn. But because we haven't got a telephone, they can't get me. So he had to go down and take over the shift. Imagine that. I get out all the dirty work because we haven't got a phone. Well, anything to eat?
Yeah. I'll get your supper for you right away, Ralph.
All right. What did you want to tell me?
Oh, that? I took your blue pants to the cleaners.
Oh, fine. Well, I'm going in and wash up. I'll be right out now.
All right, Ralph.
Did I just hear a telephone?
A telephone? Oh, yeah, I know. It's the window's open.
Could have swore it was right in this room.
It sounds that way. Yeah.
Well, I don't know why I have to listen to other people's telephones.
You didn't close the window all the way. Hello? No, it isn't. You have the wrong number. All right, Ralph. Kill me.
Alice, that phone is going out.
If you'll calm down for 1 minute, I'll give you a dozen good reasons why we need that phone.
Yeah, and I'll give you a big reason why we can't have the phone. We can't afford it.
Oh, Ralph, a telephone isn't a luxury anymore. It's a necessity.
A necessity, huh? They put this in this afternoon. I'll guarantee you've been on it 30 times already.
I made one call, Ralph. One call. I spoke to Trixie.
Trixie? Upstairs? You called her on the phone to talk to her upstairs? What's the matter? Yelling out the window is too good for you now? What, was it raining out?
Yelling out the window is bad manners.
Don't you make any nasty remarks about my mother. She's been yelling out the window for 80 years.
Yeah? And before she lost her voice, there were more people listening to her than to Amos and Andy. Now, you listen to me, Ralph. That phone is staying here. Everybody but us has a telephone. All you're worried about is the money. Well, you can just stop worrying, because I'll figure out some way to pay for that phone. I'll just, I'll cut down on something.
I know what you'll cut down on. My food. That's what you'll cut down on, Alice. My food. We'll have a phone, but I won't have anything to eat.
Oh, Ralph.
Don't old Ralph me. I'm sick and tired of hearing that old Ralph. The bills will get bigger and bigger, and I'll get less to eat. I'll start losing weight. Then you know what I'll look like?
Yeah, a human being.
Oh, well, you're gonna get yours.
Listen, Ralph. If you'd just stop being so stubborn, you'd realize that we do need a phone. It is just as important for you as it is for me.
Oh, it has nothing to do with me, because when I'm working all day, you'll be making calls. And then when I'm home at night, you'll be getting them. That phone is for you. You.
Hello? Yeah. It's for you.
Hello. Shut up.
All right, Ralph. What'd you hang up on Norton for?
Because he's a nut, calling me up to congratulate me about having a telephone. Now, look, let's get something straight right now, right here and now. A man's home is just like a ship. And on this ship, I am the captain. I am the captain of this ship. Do you understand that? You are nothing but a lowly third-class seaman. That's all you are. Your duty is to get the mess, swab the deck, and see that the captain feels good. That's all you have to do. Remember, you're nothing but a lowly third-class seaman. I'm the captain. Where are you going?
Seaman Crandon, 3rd class, is retiring to the poop deck until this big wind blows over.
Hey. What's the idea of hanging up on me on the phone and just calling to tell you how happy I was that you finally come to your senses and got a telephone?
Is that so? Well, that phone's going out in the morning. Look, I know a phone is a necessity, but you don't know Alice like I know Alice. She and her mother get together on that phone, that's the end of everything. If her mother caught a cold, she'd be on that phone 20 times a day just to say gesundheit. First thing you know, the neighbors find out I got a phone call, but they start coming in here, sponging on me. Can I call this one up? Can I call that one up?
Hey, Ralph, that reminds me. Can I use your phone?
Didn't you just hear what I said?
Just one call.
Is it an important call?
Look, would I ask you if it wasn't important?
Go ahead, but make it short.
Thank you.
Will you make the call?
Thank you.
Was that the important call you had to make?
Well, isn't knowing the right time important? Besides, I didn't talk too long, did I?
You're going to pay me for that call. You're going to pay me for that call.
I hate to bring this up, Ralph, but you leave me no other choice. In the past 15 years, you've used my phone a few times, you know.
All right. Don't throw that up to me. Just tell me how many times I use it, and I'll pay you for it.
All right, I'll tell you. You owe me $176.30.
Let me have that, and I'll check it with my fingers.
Oh, no, you don't.
What do you mean, no, I don't?
Oh.
What was that?
I'll tell you what that is. She wanted to find out if I'm still here. She can't wait to get on that phone and start gabbing with everybody.
Of course she won't get on the phone. Don't be silly. She's going to run up a big bill when you go away or something.
All right, pal. We'll make believe we're going out bowling. As soon as I get down the street, I'll duck into a candy store and make a call. I'll call this number, and I'll bet you $10 that it's busy. Bensonhurst 07741. Take your...
We're going bowling now, Alice. Be back later.
Hello. I'm sorry to bother you, Mrs. Cramden, but I was hoping maybe you could help me.
Oh, sure. What's the matter?
Well, a friend of mine's babysitter disappointed them, and well, I was hoping you might know someone.
Oh, gee, I'd love to help you out, but I don't know anyone. See, wait a minute. How much does a babysitter get?
50 cents an hour, and these people only live 3 blocks from here.
Mr. Simpson, I'll do it.
Oh, that's fine. What's your telephone number?
Well, have you got a pencil in there?
Yes, I have. And here.
Bensonhurst.
Mm-hmm.
Bensonhurst.
Bensonhurst.
07741. And by the way, before I forget, since I don't want Ralph to know about this, could you ask your friends to call me before 6? Because that's when he usually gets home.
Oh, sure, I understand. Now, these people that you're sitting for tonight are the Bartvelds.
Uh-huh.
And they live at 383 Himrod Street, apartment 4D.
383. I'll remember that, and I can be there in about 15 minutes.
Oh, that'll be fine, Mrs. Cramden. How can I ever thank you?
Oh, Mrs. Simpson, I can't thank you enough.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye. You tell them I'll be right over.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
So you heard me coming, huh? Got off the phone.
Ralph, I wasn't on the phone.
Don't stand there and give me a bare-faced alibi like that you weren't on the phone. I've been calling this number the last 15 minutes, and it's been busy. If I called Bensonhurst 07740 once, I called it 400 times, and each time it was busy.
Bensonhurst 07740.
That's right, and each time it was busy.
Mm-hmm. Well, our number is Bensonhurst 07741. I want to tell you something, Ralph. We've had our differences before. We've argued and we've fought and everything else, but everything was always out in the open. Each one knew how the other one felt. But this rushing in here like this, why didn't you just come in and ask me if I was on the phone? Didn't you think I'd tell you the truth, Ralph?
Guess I had the wrong number.
I guess I married the wrong number, Ralph.
That's fine, Frank. That's fine.
Thank you.
Okay. How'd you like the show last night?
Oh, great, Harvey, just great.
The wife and I have a date tonight. When I called her from the office this afternoon, she still hadn't found a sitter.
Say, why don't you call the woman we used last night?
Huh?
Oh, she's very, very nice. Very, very good.
What's her name?
Alice Cramden. She lives right near you, too. Look, I'll give you her phone number.
Hey, that sounds great. I'll write it down in my book as soon as I get out of the chair here.
Great. All right. The other barber will be here in just a minute.
Okay, pal. Norton, are you sure this is gonna work? Don't you think I ought to call her up and see if she's still steamed at me?
Oh, no, I like this way better. Complete surprise. You walk in there with flowers, candy, smooth shave, you know, the skin a woman loves to touch. It'll work.
But suppose it doesn't work.
What do you got to lose? You can smell the flowers, eat the candy. Tomorrow morning, you don't have to shave.
I guess maybe you're right. After I tell her she can keep the phone, that ought to please her.
Certainly. And wait till she finds out that you're giving up the lodge meeting night to take her to the floor show at the Hong Kong Gardens. You're a cinch.
You're right.
Who's next?
That's me, pal.
Hey.
Haircut?
No, just a shave. What's the matter with you? Don't you realize that this is this man's place of business? How would you like him to come down to the sewer where you're working? How help himself to anything down there?
Help himself to what?
Sit down and read a magazine.
Hey, Ralph. Esquire.
Will you sit down?
All done, Mr. Wallstetter. Thank you. I better give you that phone number now, Harvey.
Oh, that's right. Look, you think she's free tonight?
Oh, yeah. Look, her husband's busy on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, you know? Just make sure you call before 6. And here you are. Let's see. Oh, there it is, thing. The phone number is Bensonhurst 07741. Got it? And her name is Alice Crandon.
Who was that guy?
Wallstetter, Harvey Wallstetter.
Harvey Wallstetter. Wait.
Leave
me alone. I'm going to take him apart.
Wait a minute, Ralph. Maybe he's talking about some other Alice Crampton.
Another Alice Crampton? With Bensonhurst 0?
Remember last night you were wrong.
Maybe you're right. But I got to find out.
Wait a minute. If you go home now and accuse her of anything and she's not wrong, she'll never forgive you.
All right. But I just got to go home and find out. I won't let on.
Listen.
I'll walk in. I'll be cheerful, happy,
The most
pleasant.
important thing of all, when you walk in there, don't let her suspect that anything is wrong.
I won't. I'll be pleasant. I'll be smiling.
Wait a minute. That'll be a dead giveaway. Why don't you walk in like you always do?
Leave me alone.
Yes, Mr. Wallstetter, I have a pad and pencil now. Uh-huh. 465 Van Buren Street, apartment 3C. Uh-huh. Oh, dear, that's awfully early. You see, my husband isn't home from work yet, and I have to give him his supper, and I'll make it as soon as I can. Goodbye. Hi, sweetie.
Well, who are you talking to on the phone?
Oh, that was nobody, Ralph. That was the wrong number.
Oh, wrong number.
Uh-huh.
Guess you get a lot of wrong numbers now that you got a phone, huh?
Yes, you'd be surprised.
Uh-huh.
Well, your supper's ready. How about eating?
I'm not hungry yet.
You're always hungry as soon as you come home from work, Ralph.
Yeah, I know, but I thought tonight I'd just sit down and relax a little bit before I ate.
All right, you just relax. Are you hungry yet?
What is this big rush to get me to eat?
Well, there isn't any rush, Ralph. I just know it's your lodge meeting night, and you always like to get there on time.
Oh. Well, I'll go in and put my uniform on.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Here's juice, Ralph. Come on over and... There you go. Better eat your soup while it's hot.
It's too hot to eat.
Oh, well, then you shouldn't eat it if it's that hot. Here, dear. There you go. What would you like for dessert, Ralph?
Dessert?
Yeah.
Look, why don't you give me some cornflakes and cream, and we can take care of tomorrow's breakfast, too, while we're at it. What is this rush?
Was I rushing you?
Were you rushing me? What have you got to do that you want me to hurry up like this?
Well, all right, Ralph. I might as well tell you the truth. I know it's your lodge meeting night, so there's a movie that I want to see, and I just thought I'd catch the early show.
Oh, you're going to a movie?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll tell you what. Maybe I won't go to the lodge meeting tonight. I'll go to the movie with you.
Oh, no, Ralph, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't disturb your going to the lodge meeting for the world. Besides, you wouldn't like this movie.
What's the name of it?
It's, I don't know.
Oh, you're right. I'd hate that one.
Ralph, I mean, I don't know the name of the movie, but you know it's a love story. And I know you have no interest in love stories.
Guess maybe you're right. Well, go ahead. I don't want to hold you up.
Oh, you're a dear, Ralph.
Have a good time.
Thank you, darling, I will.
I bet you will. Norton! Norton!
What do you want, Ralph?
Come on down. Back! What are you trying to do? Give me a heart attack or something? Make some noise when you walk in here.
Where's Alice?
Where's Alice? She went over to see Harvey Waldstetter. That's where she is.
She told you that?
Oh, no, she didn't say that. Made up some lie about going to the movies, you know. Didn't even know the name of it.
What are you going to do?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I got his address out of the telephone book. I am now going over and take him apart piece by piece. And when I finish with that snake in the grass, I'm going to tell Alice once and for all, that's it. I never want to see her again. I got along without her before I got married to her, and I'll get along without her again. Just say it's all over, it's through, done with. Norton, I don't want to lose her.
Well, I hope he doesn't lose her. She's such a good cook.
Well, here's to you, Helen. May the next 10 years be as wonderful as these have been. Mrs. Cramden?
Yes.
Come in, won't you?
Uh-huh.
I'm Harvey Waldstetter. This is my wife, Helen.
Hello. Hello. I'm sorry if I've kept you.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. Look, sweetie, we better go.
All right, Mrs. Cramden, I'll look and see if Harvey Jr. is still awake. He's sound asleep. You know, he always sleeps right through. You won't have any trouble with him at all.
Well, I'll look in on him later anyway.
Good.
And have a good time.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Here.
What am I doing here? Don't you think the shoe should be on the other foot? I don't have to ask you what you're doing here. Well, isn't this cozy? Cocktail time, huh? Well, where is he?
Where is who?
Where is Harvey?
Harvey?
Yeah, Harvey. I want to see Harvey. Come on out of there, Harvey! Come on, Harv! I know you're in there, Harvey!
Ralph, you're making a very big mistake.
I am. Well, you
just
see the
let me
mistake I
explain
make
this.
out of Harvey. If you don't come out of there, Harvey, I'm coming in after you. Come on, Harv.
You happy now you woke him up?
What is that?
That's Harvey Waldstetter Jr. I'm taking care of him.
You mean you're babysitting?
That's right, babysitting. Come on, sweetheart. Go back to bed.
Gee, I never knew Davy Crockett was so fat.
Guess I made a little mistake.
You don't have to say anything, Ralph, because most of this was my fault. I never should have tried to hide it from you. I just thought that if I did a little babysitting a few nights a week, I could pay for the phone myself. That way you wouldn't have the worry of the added expense. But I never should have done it without telling you.
You were right, honey. You're always right. It's just unfortunate that you got a clam like me for a husband, that's all. I don't know what's the matter with me. I don't think there's anybody that's got a better wife than I got. But I gotta run around acting like a maniac all the time. Screaming, accusing, yelling. I only do it for one reason. I'm so much in love with you that the slightest thing makes me jealous. Just thinking of you looking at another guy drives me nuts.
Ralph, we have a phone now, so you can call and tell me as often as you want.
Baby, you're the greatest.
Xin chào các bạn, hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn tô màu bức tranh. Có một chiếc bánh này cùng với một cốc cà phê gồm những hình trái tim và dòng chữ Perfect Match. Các bạn cùng mình tô bức tranh này nha. Hình trái tim mình tô màu đỏ. Hình trái tim mình tô màu hồng. Chiếc bánh ngọt này mình tô với nhiều màu sắc khác nhau nhé. Hình trái tim mình tô màu tím. Chữ này mình tô màu vàng nhé. Các bạn nhớ theo dõi hết video để xem thành quả của mình nhé. Vậy là chỉ với ít phút mình đã tô màu xong bức tranh ngày hôm nay rồi đấy. Các bạn hãy cho mình biết ý kiến của các bạn về bức tranh này nhé. Video của mình xin được kết thúc ở đây. Các bạn đừng quên nhấn like và đăng ký kênh ở phía dưới để theo dõi những video tiếp theo của mình nha. Bye bye.